Atsuko 来去 Inazuma，
The Kanjo Commission subjects everyone leaving or entering the nation to a protracted approval process.
Kanjo
所以 hard to get in Inazuma.
Along with the other two commissions, they oversee everything in Inazuma. We usually collectively refer to them as the Tri-Commission. One of the obligations of the Kanjo Commission is to conduct rigorous identity checks on all individuals leaving or entering Inazuma. All non-nationals are processed centrally on Rito upon arrival. Meanwhile, the Tenryo Commission is responsible for implementing the recently promulgated Vision Hunt Decree. It doesn't feel good to speak ill of my home like this, but after spending so long under that
So
oppressive
Inazuma is in
atmosphere,
Japan,
I
isn't it?
begin to lose all hope for
Sounds
the future.
more like North Korea.
What I mean to say is, unless you have an extremely compelling reason to go to Inazuma, you should abandon your plans of trying to get there. You should know that the sea around Inazuma is engulfed in a perpetual tempest of wind and rain. Supposing you survived that, you would still need to get past the samurai guards that enforce the Sakoku Decree. You could ask someone from the Crux Fleet if they have some way of getting you to Inazuma.
But it's an armed fleet, right? Why would they agree to a request like this?
That part is up to you. If you're able to persuade their captain, Beidou, then the hardest part will be out of the way. The Alcor is the flagship of the Crux Fleet. I heard that it's currently anchored by Guyunstone Forest on a supply run. This might be your best chance.
Then there's no time to lose. Let's go find Captain Beidou.
找到了
What have we got here? Wait, I know you. You're that traveler, aren't you? The one who fought against the Fatui and Osail, right?
I'm famous.
Ningguang told me about you. A traveler of great insight and remarkable skill has saved Liyue, she said. She's a hard one to please, so praise from her is high praise indeed. Judging by the clothes on your back and this floating thing, I guess that time has come.
Hey! The name's not Floating Thing. It's Paimon!
Paimon? What a fascinating being. You two give off not only the essence of wind and earth, but also of, yes, the stars.
Huh? The fragrance of what now? That's the weirdest compliment Paimon's ever heard.
Pay it no heed. I mean only to say I am certain that it is by fate, not chance alone, that we should meet. And that gives our encounter meaning.
You're not far off, but they go by a different name in Inazuma. This young man is Kaidahara Kazuha, a temporary addition to my crew for reasons I won't bore you with. Occasionally, he opens his mouth and flowers come out instead of words.
With this fine ship and the soft sea breeze, would it not be romantically irresponsible of me not to acknowledge it with a line or two of poetry?
Well, I can't argue with that. Okay, then. Once the clash is underway, I'll give you a chance to perform.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the clash? Also, just to clarify, by great hero, do you mean?
I thought you might be here to sign up. You're telling me you've never even heard of it? The Crux Clash is a martial arts tournament that I hold. There'll be a whole bunch of folks taking part to showcase their talent. There are two important rules. One, competitors must be renowned fighters. We want those with real martial arts ability. Not so. You've got nothing to worry about there. I don't think there's anyone out there who hasn't heard of you. Two, you can't take part if you've got a vision. Otherwise, things get a little one-sided. You must be feeling confident, but you might want to watch out. There are a few crouching tigers and hidden dragons lurking around in Liyue. And with Liyue's savior taking part in the tournament, now that's gonna turn a few heads. I think we can expect a healthy turnout this time.
But we didn't come here to take part in a martial arts tournament.
Well, before you dismiss the idea completely, you might be interested to hear that the prize this time round is particularly sought after. Get this. It's a masterless vision.
Supplied by myself, as a matter of fact. If the tournament champion can reawaken that vision, it belongs to them.
Is there really such thing as a masterless vision?
When a vision bearer dies, the light in their vision will fade away, but the shell that housed that light remains. As for whether this shell has any practical application, well, this remains to be seen. But my intuition tells me that while it remains in the world, it may just be possible for someone else to inherit it.
Yep, and the way I see it, a vision is a badge of recognition from the gods. So if anyone's able to rekindle it, it's gotta be an individual of exceptional strength and talent. Organizing the clash is my way of uncovering hidden talents, and hopefully this time, getting a vision to glow again. So if you don't have a vision, this is the perfect opportunity to get your hands on one of your very own.
Yeah, We're
So
interested in
tournament 跟
getting
一大堆
Inazuma and
nameless
fighting in some
NPCs.
tournament.
Great.
Inazuma? You want to go there?
Well, why didn't you say so? Inazuma? No sweat. In that case, if you win the tournament, I'll give you a choice. Masterless Vision, or a ticket to Inazuma aboard the Alcor. Up to you.
You just want him to take part in your tournament.
What's wrong with that? The more talent we have, the better the tournament will be. I couldn't let a competitor like you fall through the net.
You? You're the hero they're talking about? Ugh, how am I supposed to win now?
You don't.
A lot of competitors came to me saying how surprised they were that Liyue's hero was entering the tournament. And since you signed up, we've had many others do the same, with more than a few top-tier fighters among them. I'm sure lots of them are here to find out how they stack up. Well, since everyone sees you as the one to beat, I figure I should start treating you that way too. For one thing, we don't want you wasting all your energy in the early rounds fighting people who are well below your level. Not to mention,
Okay, they're all
you
trash.
must be
Okay,
itching to
thank
fight
you
someone
for
in your league
noticing.
too, right? So, I'm putting you straight through to the semifinals.
Huh? But we only just started the qualifiers. Seems like
Okay,
a crazy
break
system
all
if
the
we just
rules.
skip
Yep,
straight to
yep.
the
Break,
semifinal.
This
break.
is how
Okay.
Captain Beto works. You won't
Oh,
persuade
she's
her
the boss.
otherwise. Besides, at your level, you would have made it to the semifinals anyway.
To be fair, Paimon was thinking that too.
I haven't properly introduced myself yet. In the land of Inazuma, I was a wandering samurai.
Yeah, we could tell that from your getup. But at the same time, when you talk, you don't really sound like someone who's used to waving a sword around.
It is true that I am versed both in literary and martial traditions, but on the straggling path of a wandering samurai, is there harm in acquiring a surplus skill? I do not mean to flaunt my martial prowess, but I myself have witnessed reputable fighters hailing from across the lands. I do possess some knowledge regarding your opponent's particular skill set. Given your talents, a few hints from me will be all that's necessary to bring your opponent down.
Hang on, don't you think you're bending the rules a bit there?
Gathering intelligence is an essential part of any duel. You must know your enemy. Besides, our favorite here has fought many battles on their journey from Mondstadt. Such impressive feats require more than just bravery alone.
You betcha! Wait a second. We never told you that we've been to Mondstadt.
Does one not leave a trail when traveling through the wild? In return, nature also leaves its traces upon you. However, there is only so much that can be discerned from these traces. I sense that many things about you elude me still. Come with me. Some post-match entertainment is in order.
You seem kind of obsessed with visions. But don't you already have your own? Why are you so intent on exploring the connection between visions and the element?
I desire to know what meaning visions have to the gods, and what influences the gods' decision to grant humans these visions. My apologies. You must be completely in the dark regarding for allowing me the honor of witnessing your mystical ways. I am willing to answer any questions you may have. So that's what you're curious about? Then allow me to tell you more. As you well know, a vision hunt decree is currently underway in Inazuma. Visions are a gift bestowed by the divine. People that have accepted this gift are now having their visions confiscated inexplicably, sometimes in circumstances that leave their original recipients. In the outset, supposing each of the 7 archons had their criteria for granting visions to living beings, then does the current Electro Archon now doubt these criteria, or even the act in and of itself? Not to mention, with no new electrovisions having been granted for such a long time, it would seem that we can infer something of the Raiden Shogun's feelings on.
She sounds less like an Archon and more like a tyrant.
As far as I know, she is an Archon that pursues eternity. Liyue's contracts are meant to benefit all who reside within Liyue, but what does Inazuma's pursuit of eternity bring to its people? It goes without saying that the people locked within Inazuma do not fare well these days.
Sounds a lot like something the god you encountered in the beginning would do.
Oh? Have you encountered the Electro Archon before? With time, we will change, but the Shogun will remain the same. If you wish to find her, she will forever be there. There will come a day when I too shall wish to understand the answers to eternity from her. Ah, the time for your match is approaching.
Oh, right! We got so distracted talking about Inazuma that Paimon forgot all about the tournament!
If you have no other matters to attend to, then we can return together. Very well. Let's go. I wish to see who will obtain the vision.
It's gone all right. The vision is missing.
Huh? Did somebody steal it? Who would dare do such a thing in broad daylight?
We don't know when it was taken exactly. I never thought that someone here would have the guts to cross Captain Beto.
No need to worry. Even the craftiest sleight of hand does not escape nature's watchful gaze. The culprit has only acted recently. They will not have gotten. The vision was the prize that I had offered, and it was my responsibility to look after it. I will be certain to get it back.
Well, if you insist, I'll leave the matter to you then. I'll stay here and try to offer some explanation to all the spectators that came to see the match.
If you would, please come with me.
But we're on an island. Where could he have possibly run to?
Come with me. I can sense the winds are coming.
Huh? A wind current?
The winds have come at an opportune moment. Let's seize this chance. Ride the winds upward. From there, we can continue our search for clues.
You caught up with me? How is that possible? I had even prepared a boat to ensure a quick getaway.
No boat could ever match the speed of the wind. It seems that it would be only fair to brand the word thief on your forehead with a hot iron.
Whoa, whoa! We
Whoa,
don't
whoa,
need
whoa,
to go
why
that
so
far,
serious?
do we?
Paimon 就
I
set
never
到
would
啊
have guessed you could be so cruel. If this is where talking gets me, then forget it. I'll risk a fight.
Really? Fight 啊
No, do what you want, but please, don't brand my forehead, please!
He has persevered to the bitter end, and now death looms near. Put down the vision and leave. I've changed my mind.
Huh?
What's wrong? Are you asking for more punishment? It's up to you. Such willingness is commendable and fits the way of the samurai.
No need for that. Thank you for releasing me. You truly are generous.
Paimon doesn't get it. Were you just trying to scare him?
I take no pleasure in frightening others. I was just testing all possibilities while the vision remained in his hands. When people are forced into a corner, that is when their greatest strength will appear. I thought it may be an opportunity for him to awaken the vision. But unfortunately, nothing happened. Yes, I wanted to know whether it were possible for an extinguished vision to be reawakened. From the moment he stole the vision, I decided to use him for this experiment. I've tried many other methods in the past, though few tales tell of a masterless vision reawakening. After seeing you command multiple elements, I figured that nothing is impossible. Come, why don't you give it a try? Let's see if you can give me the answer I'm hoping.
The vision didn't seem to respond at all.
I see. So you are also unable to rekindle. No matter. This was expected. I suppose this vision is still mine to take.
Yeah, what's the story behind this vision anyway?
The story begins with an old friend. He was once a good friend of mine. One day he asked me about a sword art of which he had heard, the Musono Hitotachi. I told him it can only be witnessed when divine punishment is administered. It is the pinnacle of the Raiden Shogun's skill, a symbol of ultimate power. But he replied, there must be one who can withstand it. There will always be those who dare to brave the lightning's glow. Then, the Vision Hunt decree arrived. People's aspirations were stripped away as the Raiden Shogun began to construct her ideal of eternity. While I was fleeing from place to place, I heard that my friend had challenged the Vision Hunters to a duel before the throne. A solemn yet brutal challenge. The defeated face divine punishment, while the victors gain a second chance. Perhaps he thought he of all people should make a stand. Coming face to face with the Musono Hitotachi was all that he truly desired, after all. When I arrived at Tenshukaku, the duel was over. I heard his sentence of divine punishment, his severed blade hitting the ground. Perhaps that was the glory he had yearned to witness. In his last moments, what expression was on his face? Before I knew it, I had stepped forward and snatched the dying vision and was running from the scene. All I knew was that I mustn't let his hope, which burned so brightly, become buried among the ice-cold statue of a god. Perhaps one day, I may come to find that all I have done is meaningless. But as a wandering samurai, I find meaning in traveling and the sprawling beauty of nature that lies along the way, while still retaining the warrior way in my heart.
Kazuha!
It's just another way of saying I do as I please. All right then, it's time we returned. Allow me to gather the wind for us once more.
All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might have set sail already. Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on time. The crew have just finished making final preparations. Well, now that everyone's here, we set sail for the land engulfed by storm and tempest. The nation of eternity.
Anchors away! Huh?
我们这样快 become friends 了啊。
Ahoy there. So, you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
Shush!
You can blame your almighty Shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce lately. Though the fleet was fully up to the challenge, the inclement weather still caused some delay. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Toma, a trade partner that I've gotten to know recently.
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Toma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. Seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of these Outlanders' sterling deeds at bay.
Oh, it's sure nice to hear you say that.
With any luck, it'll give you a head start here. Toma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's the fixer around these parts. If you run into any problems here, just talk to Toma. But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with him personally the next time I'm around.
No need to worry. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
Hello? Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. Oh, except you, Toma. You must be new here. Excuse me? Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you. Currently, only members of the International Trade Association are authorized to engage in the import and export of goods. Do you have your trader's permits?
Here are their entry papers, for your kind perusal.
What? Ugh, take your time. No rush or anything.
I just wanted to see what you'd say. Sorry about that.
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in order. Welcome to Rito.
Whew. So, where do we go next?
The Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through with them.
Sheesh. So it is super strict, just like everyone says.
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from everywhere else are referred to as outside. As the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku Decree in force. Not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement. I like how you think. I've got a feeling we're going to get along very well. Now, let's head over to the Outlander Affairs Agency. Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
The Kanjo Commission?
Yes, one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
You've completed the entry procedures, yes? And now you want to apply for residency? Both of you?
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
2 million? For a processing fee? Are you serious?
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total. Don't worry, you can trust my math.
Paimon wasn't so much questioning your math as...
Ma'am, these two here are good friends of mine. I think you'll find I'm one face you recognize.
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400,000 mora total.
Thank you ever so much, Miss Eureka. But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf. I'll treat you to dinner too. How does that sound?
That's not how you haggle! By all means, bargain the price down!
All right then, as you wish, Mr. Toma. I will make a record.
Much obliged.
What? She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here!
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. Processing fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money, so it becomes a question of how much they can make. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck here, and...
Then they'll milk them for all they're worth!
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this close nation era, there's very little that can be done about it. The most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick together. That's how the International Trade Association came about.
So it's a trade association built by and for Outlanders?
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests, the association provides help, support, and structure for Outlanders trying to survive on Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement when you're an Outlander in Inazuma.
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given that you are Outlanders, it's certainly a lofty aspiration. After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all other life gazes up in awe. I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the Raiden Shogun one day after lunch?
Uh-huh. And is that likely?
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a way to introduce you to the Raiden...
Really? Wow, the Rito Fixer is better connected than we thought.
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. However, before we get there, connections come at a high price, you understand?
Not you too.
No. In this instance, when I say price, I'm not talking about Mora. In fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if this is something you really want, you'll have to agree to help other people solve some of their problems first. I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy.
Context this is after audio， 这个不是 live commentary， 因为呢要做很多 quest so much talking, so much drama.
Straight to the point. Let me reintroduce myself. I belong to the Kamisato clan of the Yashiro Commission on Narukami Island. I'm an attendant of the Shirasagi Himegimi.
You've been keeping your true identity a secret from us this whole time? So, the Yashiro Commission. Guessing that's another branch of the Tri-Commission?
Correct. The Kamisato clan is the head of the Yashiro Commission, who manage ceremonial and cultural affairs. I'm just someone who was fortunate enough to be taken in by the Kamisato clan. My role is to take care of the daughter of the clan, Kamisato Ayaka, also known as the Shirasagi Himegimi.
Seems like she must be super famous in Inazuma.
Oh, most definitely. She's graceful, dignified, and kind-hearted too. Her fame even somewhat eclipses that of her older brother, Kamisato Ayato, despite the fact that he's the current head of the clan. I suppose those who treat others with compassion earn themselves the same treatment in return. Miss Kamisato's situation certainly seems to attest to that. Take me, for example. I'm just an attendant, and yet she treats me as an equal. You're asking the right questions. And to be honest, I don't want to keep you in the dark any more than is necessary. Firstly, you should know that being a fixer is not something you can fake. I spent the better part of a month tirelessly building up a network of relationships on the island. And I got to know Captain Beto during that time too.
Still pretty good going for just a month's work.
Well, maybe I have a slight knack for schmoozery. Inazuma may have closed off to the outside world, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from hearing about your feats in Mondstadt and Liyue. So, when Miss Kamisato heard of your intention to come to Inazuma, she began looking forward to your arrival with great anticipation. That is, that you have what it takes to change the tide of the times.
Change the tide of the time?
In the test I gave you earlier, although there were a few hiccups at the end, it was you who found the way to turn the situation around. Navigating powerful people, using their character flaws to your advantage. It's just what Miss Kamisato had hoped to see. With your help, even the Vision Hunt decree... That's an unexpected development. Perhaps our sources were misleading. Yes, of course. I completely understand, and as agreed, I shall help set that up for you.
Toma sure didn't put up much of a fight.
Well, my work on Rito is done. So I suppose this is goodbye for now. Oh, one more thing. This invitation letter is for you. When you get to Narukami Island, you can find me at the Komori Tea House, as per the letter. Good luck with everything. See you soon.
Toma's not such a bad guy, huh? We should get going. Huh? What's up? Oh, right! Paimon forgot all about that! Wait, so... did Toma forget that too? Oh, darn it! No wonder he was so matter-of-fact about the whole thing! As soon as we get off Ritu, Paimon's going straight to Komori Tea House to settle the school! Well, guess we should give it a try. Let's head to the border and see how far we
Cut 啦 Cut even more side quests 来拿一个 passport 啊
We're finally on our own way again! I suppose it's time we find Toma. Now, where did he say he would meet us again? Oh, right! Komori Tea House!
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House.
Well, that sounds more like it. Now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright, I've had my fun.
Hey!
Sounds
You're
like-
this close
如果还可以 transform 去一个 dog 比较 more interesting 哦。
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. Though it was quite necessary. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you? Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me to.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere.
This area sure feels gloomy. People probably don't come here often, do they? Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt Decree?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt Decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission, and this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being... oh, I don't know... selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden Shogun. And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist, and Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did something happen?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then...
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
The place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon?
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guest. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Is this the Shirazage Himegimi you keep going on about? So, where's she at? Behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the time. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh...
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world.
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Okay, so maybe I'll put in a title or the description. 讲这个是 the last Genshin episode for now. Yeah, 因为这个 footage 很 old 了 like 我 summon 我 Yoimiya, Kazuha， 然后我也有 summon 个 new Velet， 所以呢已经很久了啊这些 footage。所以下一个 episode 会有不同的 team。So anyways, end the video.